Hi, welcome to the final part in my series on effective communication. I talked about this presentation of mine on 5 C's of communication. Let me do a quick recap. The first C in effective communication was confidence. It is the speaker's responsibility to establish confidence with the audience. How do you establish confidence? You need to read a lot, prepare a lot, and practice. If you do these 3 things and if you establish confidence, the audience will give you a longer time, they will listen to you, and you will be able to communicate the objectives that you want to communicate, and that's the most important part here. The second C is the content. It is the speaker's responsibility to ensure that whatever he is speaking is well received and understood by the audience. What he needs to do is he needs to ensure that he provides a proper structure to his talk and reads up a lot and prepares enough substance so as to ensure that there is depth in what he's talking. There is some newness in what he's talking. So content is the second C of communication, which needs to have structure and depth. The third C of communication is communication finesse. And in communication finesse, there are these 8 parameters that interplay in order to make your communication feel like a well-rehearsed song. So what are these 8 factors that influence communication finesse? 4 of them are called the critical factors, and these factors are volume, speed, modulation, pause and punctuation. And the essential factors are pronunciation, vocabulary, eye contact and body language. As a speaker wants to improve his communication and needs to be effective, he needs to ensure that he practices all these 8 parameters, and if he controls them well, he'll be able to develop communication finesse. Or if he controls these 8 parameters, he'll be able to have effective communication. The fourth C of communication we talked about was one of the most critical factors that is the end objective of any communication that you do. Even if your confidence is a little low, your content may lack some depth or structure, and even if those 8 parameters of communication finesse are not controlled by you, this fourth C of communication comes very, very handy to help you make an impactful communication. And that fourth C was conviction. Now, in order to establish conviction with your audience, it is the responsibility of the speaker that he sounds convincing, looks convincing, and it is his responsibility to establish conviction with the audience. How do you establish conviction? I talked about 3 simple things that one can keep doing. One is be repetitive. Your central idea, your core idea needs to be constantly repeated. You need to be very clear in terms of what is the core idea you're trying to communicate. Support it with multiple things and keep repeating the core idea, and that helps effectively communicate and establish conviction. The second aspect that I talked about that helps you establish conviction is the authenticity of what you're trying to talk. If you need to believe in whatever you're speaking, the data may come in from various places. If you're making a statement, if you're talking about any topic, ensure that you believe in what you're trying to do. It's well rehearsed and you believe that you're talking the truth. The third point that I talked about and I tried to cover is ownership. Whatever you talk about, these ideas, issues, topics, the subject matter, the content may be borrowed from multiple places. But when you are speaking it, you need to ensure that it is something that you speak from your heart, it is internally done. So if these 3 aspects are talked about, you will be able to establish conviction. A simple point is, don't speak from your mouth, don't speak from your brain, don't speak from your eye, don't read, but better if you speak from your heart, and still better if you speak from your stomach. If the voice comes from your heart and the stomach, you will be able to establish conviction. So here we come now to the final C in effective communication, and the final C in effective communication is creativity. Every individual has got a unique style. Like no 2 people look alike. 2 people, when they speak, the voice, the tone, the way they formulate their sentences, there is a uniqueness in how everybody talks. So don't copy someone else's style in the way you speak. Speak with your own unique flavor. Find out certain elements that will enhance and provide some entertainment value to where you speak. So in order to be creative, it is very, very critical that you prepare well the elements that will bring in that creativity. Tell a joke, sing a song, give an example. There are multiple of these small elements that you can bring in your narrative style of telling a story, and your talk will become more and more interesting. How do you go about it? There are 4 simple steps that I try and talk about. First thing that I say, listen to a lot of good orators and speakers. You will be able to see a lot of things that they do in order to capture the attention and look creative. The second aspect is plan well in advance. Whatever props you're using, examples you're using, they need to be thought about, they need to be prepared. Sometimes it's a visual aid. Today we've got smartphones on our hand. We can show video clips, we can show photos, we can show quotes, many small elements that can be bought in that will make your talk creative. The third thing that I'm trying to talk about is try and bring in some form of humor. If you can make your audience laugh, I think that is one thing that will add to the whole creative element of your communication. People, if you can make the audience smile, if you can make them laugh, if you can make them relax, that is a best way to reach out to the audience. And the most important part about effective communication is when you're one-on-one or you're in an audience, if you can build a dialogue. If there is a two-way communication that you are able to achieve, somewhere by asking questions, somewhere by interacting with your audience, if you are able to build a dialogue, that's one of the creative elements that help really make your communication more effective. So I have just covered these 5 C's on effective communication. Glad that I've been able to complete this web series on effective communication. Please follow these 5 C's on effective communication. Ensure that you establish confidence, you have your organized content, you use communication finesse, establish conviction, and use creativity to effectively communicate. If you keep these 5 pointers in the back of your mind before preparing any presentation, whether it is a sales pitch, whether it's a one-on-one talk, I am pretty sure you'll be able to get your ideas across and you will be able to effectively communicate. Thank you very much for watching my series. Please subscribe my channel and keep watching. Thank you and God bless.